In 2001, the seventh largest company in America disappeared in 24 days. $74 billion. Gone. 20,000 employees lost their jobs, their savings, and their retirement overnight. And the men who caused it, most of them walked free. This isn't a story about a bad company. This is a story about how the smartest people in the room built a machine designed to steal and convinced the entire world it was genius. Stay with me, because what they pulled off will make your jaw drop. In the next 7 minutes, you're going to find out exactly how Enron faked billions in profits, how they kept regulators blind for years, and why, even after the biggest corporate fraud in American history, almost nobody went to prison. Let's start at the beginning. It's 1985. Houston, Texas. A man named Kenneth Lay just merged two small natural gas companies into one. He called it Enron. For the first few years, it was boring. Just a pipeline company moving gas from one place to another. Nothing special. But then, something changed. In the 1990s, the U.S. government deregulated the energy market. That means companies could now trade energy like stocks, buying and selling electricity and gas as a financial product. Most companies saw this as complicated. Enron saw it as a gold mine. They hired the sharpest minds from Harvard, MIT, and Wharton. They built one of the most aggressive trading floors in the world, and Wall Street loved them. By the year 2000, Enron's stock was worth $90 a share. Fortune magazine named them America's most innovative company. 6 years in a row. 6 years in a row. The problem? It was all a lie. Here's the thing about Enron that nobody talks about. They were losing money. Not a little. A lot. But on paper, on the documents they showed investors, banks, and regulators, they looked like a profit machine. How? 2 words, mark to market. Here's what that means in plain English. Normally, a company counts revenue when it actually receives the money. But Enron convinced regulators to let them count future profits today. So if Enron signed a 10-year contract to supply energy worth $100 million, they could book all $100 million as profit on day one. But even if they hadn't delivered a single dollar of that energy yet, even if they never would, this was legal. Barely. But Enron took it further than anyone had ever dared. Way further. This is where it gets truly insane. Counting future profits on paper was one trick, but the real problem was the losses. Real, actual billions of dollars in losses piling up behind the scenes. They needed somewhere to hide them. And a man named Andrew Fastow had the answer. Fastow was Enron's chief financial officer, and he was creative in the worst possible way. He created hundreds of separate companies called special purpose entities. He gave them names like Raptor, Chuco, LJM. These fake companies existed for one reason only: to absorb Enron's losses so they wouldn't appear on Enron's books. Think of it like this. Imagine you're broke, but instead of showing your debts on your own bank statement, you create a fake friend and put all your debt in their name. Now your statement looks clean. You look rich, and nobody checks your friend's account. That's exactly what Enron did, except at a scale of billions of dollars. And here's the open secret. That makes this even worse. Their own accountants knew. Arthur Andersen, one of the most respected accounting firms on the planet, was signing off on Enron's books every single year. They knew the numbers were wrong, but Enron was paying them $1 million per week in fees. $1 million per week. So they kept signing. By early 2001, cracks started showing. A journalist named Bethany McLean wrote a single question in Fortune magazine. How exactly does Enron make its money? It sounds simple, but nobody could answer it. Enron's own executives went on television and couldn't explain their own business model. Investors started getting nervous. Then, in August 2001, something shocking happened. Jeff Skilling, Enron's CEO, suddenly resigned. He gave no real reason. He just walked away. That's when the panic started. Within weeks, an internal whistleblower named Sharon Watkins wrote a memo to Kenneth Lay warning him the company was going to implode in a wave of accounting scandals. Lay did nothing. In fact, while he was privately telling his own financial advisors to prepare for the worst, he was publicly telling employees to buy more Enron stock, while he himself was quietly selling his own shares. In October 2001, Enron finally admitted to $1.2 billion in losses they had hidden. The stock went from $90 to under $1 in less than 2 months. On December 2nd, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy. At the time, it was the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. $63 billion in assets. Gone. Now here's the part that will make your blood boil. After the dust settled, the investigations began. The Department of Justice, the SEC, the FBI. All of them came knocking. And here's what happened. Andrew Fastow, the man who built the entire fraud machine, cooperated with prosecutors. He got 6 years, was out in less than that. Jeffrey Skilling, the CEO who ran the scheme, was convicted on 19 counts of fraud, sentenced to 24 years. But then his lawyers appealed, and appealed again. In 2013, a deal was made. His sentence was cut to 14 years. He was released in 2019. Kenneth Lay, the founder and chairman, was convicted on all 6 counts against him. But before he was ever sentenced, he died of a heart attack. And here's the cruel legal twist. When a defendant dies before sentencing, U.S. law vacates, erases, the conviction entirely. Kenneth Lay died legally innocent. 20,000 employees lost their jobs. Retirement funds wiped to zero. Families destroyed. And the man who started it all died with a clean legal record. As for Arthur Andersen, the accounting firm that signed off on the fraud, they were indicted. Their reputation destroyed overnight. 85,000 employees lost their jobs. 85,000 innocent people paid the price for the actions of a few. That is the Enron story. A company built on lies. Regulators who looked away. Accountants who got paid to stay quiet. And a system that protected the powerful until the very end. Enron didn't just collapse a company. It changed American corporate law forever. But the question nobody asks is this. Was Enron actually the last time something like this happened? Or is it happening right now with a company you trust? If you want to know which billion-dollar company used the exact same trick as Enron and got away with it for even longer, that video is right here. Subscribe to Court and Coin, because the biggest financial crimes are always hiding in plain sight.